All right, we are finally live. We were stuck in a time dilation field, and my warp core was breached. Yeah, maybe.
Sure.
Sure. Let's go with that. No, I'm actually on site right now working on a job, so I'm living out of a hotel room, and nothing wanted to work, and life stuff. So got home late. How are you guys doing? How is your Wednesday? Today's Wednesday. No, it's Thursday. Whatever day it is. How's it going?
I'm good. Had the watch along for What If last night, so that was fun. And yeah, I'm very excited for Star Trek Lower Deck Season 2. I binge watched the first season, I think Monday and Tuesday.
These aren't too hard to get through. Say it's a 10 episode season. They're like 25 minutes each, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Jamie, what about you? You just recently binged it too, right?
I binged it a couple weeks back, and I am. Pardon the goggle eyes. I actually got in the pool for the first time this pandemic, so pardon that. But I'm good. I am here. I've actually got the YouTube part up right now, and I'm enjoying watching your video feed chop in and out. It's very fun.
That's great. Yeah, so I'm in Sonoma County. I don't know how many people watching know where that's at. That's basically wine country up north in California, and the Wi-Fi at the hotel sucks. Hampton Inn, you need to do better. So I am connected through my phone. So we'll see how that goes.
Are you close to the fires up there? You guys okay?
Not really close. Yeah, we're good where we're at. Like, my allergies have been a little, but they're like that down in LA too. But I wanted to ask both of you guys. So Jamie, obviously we've done the Riker maneuver before, talking about Star Trek Enterprise. We recently did Star Trek Discovery Season 3 with Eric and Heirloom. But both you and Caitlin, what were you guys expecting from Lower Decks before you started watching? Because this is like a completely different kind of Star Trek than anything that's been on TV before.
Forgive me if I'm incorrect, but Caitlin, you're not up on Star Trek at all, right?
I know basics. I watched like the original show when I was younger, when I would be sick from school, and then I watched the first season of Discovery. So I know, like, my mom's a huge Trekkie, so I know it more from her.
Okay.
So I know, like, kind of the amount that is that is in pop culture.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what I was expecting. I didn't expect it to be as accessible as it was, because they reference a lot of Star Trek stuff, but it's things that I knew. It was like, okay, Klingons, Borgs, I know like what those are, or they would reference like Picard or Janeway or Captain Kirk. I'm like, okay, I know all that, but it wasn't like, you're not going to understand this if you don't know Star Trek super well. And man, It's funny. It's so funny. I love how ridiculous all the characters are. I wasn't expecting it to be as just kind of silly it is.
Yeah, like I personally, I'm on my end. I was expecting more. I don't know if you guys have seen Solar Opposites on Hulu. It's also from Rick and Morty people. But Solar Opposites feels like Rick and Morty. Lower Decks doesn't really. At least to me, like it wasn't really coming across that way. Jamie, you're obviously more familiar with Star Trek. What did you pick up in season 1? Like where there was a great moment when Riker came in, when you see him in that last episode. Something that that you and I always kind of joke about with the Star Trek Enterprise theme song.
Yeah, that actually was. I busted a gut when he started doing quoting the song from Enterprise. I was just like, that's perfect. Which we still need to do that, I think, no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Uh, what I got, I mean, I didn't know what to expect going in. I guess I kind of expected it to be a little Family Guy-ish or American Dad-ish because the animation style mostly resembles that of anything. Um, but it's really kind of its own thing. It pulls from a lot of the tropes that are working right now, but it's not as grossly irreverent as Rick and Morty is, and it's not as tangential as Family Guy or something like that. It honestly, it's kind of more Simpsons-esque in the sense that it follows a central structure throughout each individual episode, and we see growth of the characters. Um, but then the irreverence and the hijinks and all that. What I really didn't expect at all was that there there's some really good Trek moments. It feels like Trek in an animated universe.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel like an animated universe put on top of Star Trek. It feels like these could be live action episodes were we to have enough of a budget to be able to do wacky stuff like that, which I really didn't expect. I thought it was just,
Right.
hey, we've got an excuse to be animated. But which makes me really excited for Prodigy. Because that right, Prodigy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
yeah, Prodigy with
Yeah,
the
Prodigy.
the guys from Troll Hunters and whatnot making that one. So I'm really excited to see what they do. Or well, are they making it? The style is very similar, I should say.
The animation style is the same. The trailer's up. I don't or a
No, I
short
haven't checked it out yet.
Trailer's up. It's definitely worth watching. I haven't really gotten into Troll Hunters. Like I watched like one of the offshoot series, but it or part of one of the offshoot series, not realizing that there was a whole like 17
Universe.
other shows I had to watch to understand what was going on there.
Which one was it? Was it Wizards?
It
was
was
it
either
21
that
Below?
or something. No, it was like something about like something of Arcadia.
They're all of Arcadia. They're all tales of Arcadia. You've got Wizards.
Probably that one.
21 Below, which is the aliens, and Troll Hunters, and I may be missing a fourth one.
I think it was Wizards. It was something like it took place. It started out in the present, and then like they went into the past or something.
That's Wizards, yeah, and I believe that's the last one. Which tying all this into Star Trek.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Completely. Sorry, I was just gonna say. So it's completely the wrong place to start.
Well, but tying Troll Hunters into Star Trek, we have Anton Yelchin, who was the original voice for the main character in the first Troll Hunters series. Rest in peace.
Yeah. So tonight's episode is called Strange Energies. I have seen it already. So I kind of know what to expect. I went to the Lower Decks Cerritos block party last week with Joe. We got to see the first two episodes. Most of the cast was there. Jack Quaid was up in Canada, still shooting The Boys though, so he did not show up. But I got to tell you, Jerry O'Connell is one of the nicest dudes I think I've ever met in Hollywood. He made it a point to walk around the party and say hello to everyone and introduce himself. When they announced that they were going to start showing the episode, I ran over to the bar really quick to get it to refill my drink. And while I was doing that, he had gone over to where Joe had sat down and introduced himself to Joe. Said hi, chatted for a minute, and then he walked away. Then like 4 or 5 minutes later, I went over and sat down right next to Joe, and then Jerry saw that he hadn't introduced himself to me because I wasn't there, so he walked over as he was making his way to his seat. He was like, "Hey, I'm Jerry. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming. Hope you enjoy the show." Like he was like really really nice about it. It was really cool. So yeah, I'm excited for you guys to see this. I think it's gonna be fun. I don't know if we just lost Jamie, We're getting.
There we
I'm
go.
getting some weird camera stuff from him.
No, sorry.
But in the
That was me. That
chat,
was me.
Before we get started, I just wanted to say hello to Donnie Pearson. JD Lint 324 is here, and I'm going to tell you about my warp core, whether you want to hear about it or not. And Heirloom, who has been on some episodes of the Riker Maneuver when we were talking a couple of episodes of Enterprise, and for a good number of the Discovery Season 3 episodes, is also here. Morning. Thanks for coming. I don't know if you have the episode yet over there, so spoiler alert. But are you guys queued up and ready to go?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. There was one more thing that I wanted to ask you before we get into this. At the end of season 1, Boimler took a promotion and went over to the Titan with the Riker.
I was just about to ask, is there anything that we need to, in case anybody's watching this without having
I
season 1 in their head?
That's one thing. Yeah. If you're not caught up to season 1, one of the main characters took a promotion and went over to Riker's ship and left the rest of the lower deck crew behind. So what do you guys think? I can't answer this because I know exactly what's going to happen. But so Jamie and Caitlin, what do you think is going to be Boimler's status in this first episode?
I feel like he's still there, but he'll probably end up getting tossed back over because he'll do something to annoy someone. I mean, he's kind of a pain in like the weirdest way because he's someone who's like, we have to follow the rules, and then it always goes poorly. And you think that his way would work out, not so much.
I think they're going to keep him over with Riker for a minute, or he's going to end up like stranded by the end of this episode.
That's what I want. I want him stranded on an alien planet.
For some odd reason, I don't think they're going to get reunited this episode.
Yeah, that's fair. He's such a doofus.
He really, like, I kind of feel like if Jack Quaid's character from The Boys ended up in Starfleet, that he would be Boimler.
Yeah.
Instead, he went off in a completely different direction.
True.
I love, even in like the first episode of the first season, he's like, we have to follow the rules. And of course, everything goes wrong. And then the character that doesn't follow the rules, totally fine.
Yep. I do love that one episode where it turns out with him following the rules, he's the only one who can get stuff done on the ship.
Yeah.
But what was so like endearing and something to go along with the lines of the show that I wouldn't expect the show to have is that at the end of it, he talks to the captain and he's saying, this isn't something everybody can do. I'm just built for this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, wow, he does have that awareness about himself, which to me, in any show, when a character has what could be considered a detrimental flaw or like an Achilles heel, even though it may be a good trait, I love when they show that awareness because the whole time you're thinking they really don't know this. And then they're like, oh, no, I get it. And I'm like, oh, man. Smart, because then you can go from there. You can take it further as opposed to making it a stock joke every episode.
No, I think my favorite joke that came out of it was the fact that there's a rule named after him that don't follow the rules to get the job done.
Yeah.
His legacy is the laziest ever. Like, that to me is perfect in the joke department. It's not the stock joke of like, oh, he's a stickler. It's nope. His legacy is the worst possible thing that could happen to him.
At
least he'll never know.
What's really funny to me about that bit too is that was buffer time, right?
Yes.
So that came from an episode of The Next Generation called Relics, where Scotty was stuck in a transporter beam for like 80 years, and they figured out how to get him out. He goes up to the Enterprise D with the regular crew, and he's working with LaForge and the rest of the engineers there. And so Picard is telling LaForge to do all these things, and it's like, how long is it gonna take you to do this? And LaForge is like, oh, well, I can get this done in like 20 minutes. And Scotty's like, never tell the captain how long it's actually gonna take you to do something. Always like double your time. That way, when you finish ahead of schedule, you'll look like a hero. And that's just perfect for what this is, because Boimler was taking that just like completely in the wrong direction. But so good. So I guess we should probably get started. It's 12:40 West Coast time here. So the episode dropped about 40 minutes ago. Are you guys queued up and ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. So counting down, let's go ahead and hit play in 3, 2, 1, play.
I hope it all loaded up at the right time.
And I hope there's no one in the room next to me.
Ooh, very Jedi right there. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool.
All right.
I
So
love Mariner.
Jamie, you'll
Yeah.
recognize this. Behind the Cardassian, how many lights are there?
There are 4 lights. There are 4 lights. I wonder if any of those torture devices were a Easter egg.
I don't know.
Like one of them
Oh,
looked
actually,
like that.
there were 5 lights. There were 5 lights.
Were there 5?
There were the 4 hanging down. Then there was one in the middle.
Ah. Oh, that was trippy. It looked like she was going up something.
I love that she left him.
She's really self-aware too.
Oh, hugely self-aware.
I love the episode where she's like doing that weird, not really therapy session, and she realizes, oh, maybe murdering my mom isn't a great idea.
Yeah. I forget what happened to her mom at the end of the last season. She's okay
She got
now, right?
injured, but she's okay.
Yeah.
Basically, they have a better relationship.
Yeah.
Jennifer.
I think I kind of went Starfleet gym shorts.
This is your workout. I love this so much.
That's brilliant. That's
Oh
brilliant.
my god, this is amazing.
So, Josh, what do you think of this
Yeah.
intro? Knowing TNG and all the others, what do you think of this intro?
The song or the whole package?
The whole package, but the song is definitely obviously.
Yeah.
And even the letter, the font.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the theme kind of reminds me of the music from Galaxy Quest a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
but also obviously, you know, it's taking hints from the all the other shows, with the exception of Enterprise.
Wait, Fred Tatasciore. Wait, he's getting billing in this?
Yeah.
Did they change his character? Oh, wait, I'm so excited. I don't know. I got really touched when his character got blown up. I mean, we didn't see it happen, but
Yeah.
you know, what was his name? He was
He was the Bajoran, right?
he was the Bajoran, the security officer.
Yeah.
I was so sad.
Yeah, me too. But it was awesome. It was epic.
They're both tired of it. I love it. I loved when Ransom stabbed Mariner in the foot to fight to the death.
Yeah. And then he ends up kicking butt.
Well, yeah, he was amazing in the fight, but Mariner's like so mad because she's like, "Oh no, he's attractive now."
I was just gonna see. Do y'all think that there's actually gonna be something that happens between the two of them?
I would love that just because they would both hate it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they were dating, they would consistently be pissed about it, which I think would be hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a good chance that they'll go on at least one date before the end of the series.
Yeah.
And I think it'll go really well.
Probably.
And they'll both be angry about it.
This is super. Wow, he's different.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. He's kind of a new person.
Part of his brain got ripped out, and she says that's so chill.
Does the animation seem a little different? Oh, maybe it was just that cell. It was very straight on. See, I don't know. When she was in front of the barracks right there, or the bunks right there, it just looked strange.
I will say, my friend, cool.
This bit is really good.
I know that voice.
Yeah, it does sound familiar.
I'll look it up.
Randall Park. I think that's Randall Park.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
That's hilarious. Oh no. Oh no. We got sci-fi stuff happening.
Oh. Oh, maybe they won't be getting together. Yeah, it's Randall Park.
Yeah.
Just elbow her in the face. Oof.
Gary Mitchell? Is he from the original series? That looked like an TOS outfit.
Yeah. I like the detail on the bottom of the shoes too.
Yeah. Oh no.
Why is it a rainbow?
Why not?
Fair enough.
Why are they like coughing and swatting away the power?
Is he weightlifting with the force 2 trees?
Yes. Still Ransom.
Like all of the characters are fantastic, but Ransom is definitely one of my favorites.
He's
Oh,
so
well-
ridiculous.
Jerry O'Connell, man.
I loved that they used the Pac-Leds in that big fight too, because there's such a ridiculous species.
What? Feel the burn.
He's grabbing more things to lift. Mm.
Oh. Jesus.
She just whack him in the face. What is she doing? What?
Look at all the stains on that place. What is going on in there?
What is she doing?
Who knows? Like, I mean, you saw the dog that she made last season.
That was a gun that had like the medical symbol on the side. That's amazing. He made the moon disappear.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
Oh God!
wow. They went to family counseling apparently.
She totally licked the lolly.
It's the ice cream. I love it.
Oh, ice cream.
Oh, Mount Rushmore. Who is this guy? What?
Oh! Oh, that's totally Star Trek what was it?
The original series?
The Final
TOS.
Frontier, the last movie
Oh my god.
when the head comes out of the clouds
Oh
before
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
walks out.
Excuse me. What does God need with a starship? I like that his eye is like 8-bit.
Medical venom. Wow, she is. Whoa.
Tendi!
Oh, no.
She needs to chill a little bit.
Yeah, just a little. But watch it be real. Watch him really have it by
He
the end of the
100%
episode.
has it. I'm sure he does.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god, the other ransoms. They're all working out. I love it. So, because I'm not as familiar with Star Trek, are there a lot of cat people?
No.
No,
Okay.
this is the first time I've seen one, right?
I believe they were featured in Star Trek the animated series.
Ah.
That actually had the voices from the original cast.
Gotcha.
I just thought they were Khajiit from the Elder Scrolls. he bit the shield.
Do they like not notice what's happening outside?
Oh. Oh. No.
I
This has been building up a little while.
A little bit.
a little bit.
What is he doing?
Like, I wonder if there's like any families on this ship, like there were on the Enterprise, like the TNG Enterprise, that are just like, what's going on? Aw.
They're adorable.
Embrace for grabbing. Gotta go find a boulder.
Is he though?
Tell
No.
me more. Tell me.
There we go.
That looked like that looked like what's his name? Zartros in Star Fox. What when he gets defeated?
You just kept kicking him.
I mean, that'll do it.
Oh my goodness.
Boulder.
Oh my god.
The boulder works.
I do really enjoy how like exercise was a running theme throughout the entire episode.
Yep. I love the cat doctor. She's so weird.
What's that little figurine in that background?
Looks like a Gorn.
I do what I want.
Ooh, I just froze. Where are you guys at now?
23 out of 24. They're talking about Boimler.
It just went.
Okay.
So the teaser trailer basically just.
I love this version of Riker.
Oh yeah.
Boimler is not prepared.
That was great.
Oh, Nolan North was also a voice, and Missy Pyle. Who was Missy Pyle?
Missy Pyle. Oh, she was probably the Jennifer.
Oh yeah.
Or the girl that he went on the date with.
That was so funny to me.
I think it was the girl he went on the date with. Nolan North, I think, was No, I don't know who Nolan North was.
Nolan North would have been maybe not the Randall Park guy, but the other guy
The other
at the
one?
beginning of the episode.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Huh. Oh, so okay. So what did you guys think?
I think Boimler's gonna die. No, I loved it. I thought the mother-daughter stuff was hilarious. I loved at the end that it was very cool because they kind of went back to where we first saw them in the pilot, but without like the resentment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And without the artifice of no
Yeah.
one knowing their true relationship.
Right. So I loved that moment of love you. I'm gonna do what I want. Love you. Don't disobey me.
Disobey me. Yeah, it's great though, because like I mean that's kind of a legit relationship as we get older with parents or authority figures. You know, like when we're kids, it's like meh, but when we get older, it's like I'm gonna be me. Yeah, well, so am I.
Yep. So I really love that. The freaking Ransom becoming a god bit was great.
Yeah, that was so good.
Because she wanted to clean buildings. Like, I just love it's like the dumbest stuff leads to these things.
What did she say? I didn't know they had it on these holy buildings or something, and then all of a sudden it flies off into Ransom.
I also love it's like weird sci-fi stuff is happening. That's probably my favorite joke. That's your show, dude.
Mm-hmm. It's all of these like self-referential humor
Yeah.
that they do is so great. So I'm looking up.
That's kind of their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it works really well. I mean, like one of my favorite bits last year was Badgie, who wanted to murder them.
Badgie, I think that was my favorite episode. Just because like everyone back in the day wanted to murder Clippy. So just like that reversal was just so great.
I hope that they find a way to get Badgie back. I know Badgie technically died, but I mean Fred Tatasciore is in the credits and his character died, so I'm excited to see if he's a new character or if they bring him back. But he wasn't in this episode, so
I feel like Badgie never really dies.
Yeah.
He's a hologram. He's a holodeck program. He can't die.
Yeah.
Badgie's too terrifying to die.
Like, what if he somehow downloaded himself into an escape pod or something at the last minute there?
He's gonna end up being Moriarty, like from Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Like, I can
that'd be dope
that.
if Moriarty made an appearance in this.
Oh, that would be fun. Like, maybe they find that program and they're like,
yeah.
Oh, what's this?
Yeah. So, long story short, in TNG, there was a holodeck program that gained sentience.
Okay.
And it was LaForge and Data were always going to the holodeck to hang out and do things together. And one of their things was being Sherlock Holmes and Watson. And Data always figured everything out immediately. So LaForge was like, computer, I need an enemy that is capable of beating Data. So the computer just like took all of its processing power and created Moriarty.
Yeah. And then
that would be awesome.
Became self-aware.
He took over the ship because he wanted to see everything. He wasn't like really destroy everything, but he now had consciousness, but he couldn't leave the holodeck. So what they ended up doing is they ended up tricking him into thinking he had left the deck, and then they put him in a program and they launched him off. So he kind of is off in space, but it's a random program.
I feel like Badgie and Moriarty will find each other and
that would
everyone.
Be better. That would be so good.
That would be cool.
So Gary Mitchell, the main reference from this episode,
yeah.
He appeared in the episode where No Man Has Gone Before.
Was that animated or was that TOS?
No, that was TOS. He was one of the helmsmen on the original Enterprise from TOS.
Did he die from the boulder, or did he survive like Ransom?
So his final mission was in 2265. He was, he discovered the disaster recorder of the SS Valiant, a vessel missing for almost 200 years. After discovering it and exploring the Valiant's last known position, the Enterprise penetrated the galactic barrier, which has appeared that made its another appearance in Star Trek V. Because they were trying to break through, and that's where they met.
They found Cybok.
Yeah.
What's his name?
But Cybok was the brother or half brother or whatever that brought them there. So at the barrier, Mitchell became stunned by strange energies and gave him all of these crazy powers.
Cool.
Did he also try to eat a ship?
I don't think so.
Or did he try to lift everything in sight?
Was he doing bicep curls?
I think he was doing crunches.
They did.
Working out was like a through line of the entire episode.
It must be telling us something. Post-pandemic.
It's telling me something.
Right? It's like, everybody better get back in shape, guys, for Star Trek.
For Star Trek, yeah. Well, I mean, there's enough shows coming out. It's going to be a workout getting through all of them.
Right? Yeah, there's this. Picard season 2, Strange New World season 1, Prodigy season 1, Discovery season 4. The Section 31 show, if that ever actually happens.
And then if they end up going back into the movies, whatever they decide to do.
Yeah, there's so much. But no, so thoughts on the episode? Was there anything that stood out that you got, like any for you, Jamie? Any Easter eggs other than the 4 lights that we saw at the beginning?
There are 4 lights.
Because that, like the Gary Mitchell thing, I wouldn't count that as an Easter egg. That was
like pretty wide
reference. Yeah, that was a direct reference. I didn't really catch anything else.
I was trying to look in the background there and try to see some stuff. Nothing that popped out me. I'm sure tomorrow there will be a ton of things saying, "Oh, this and that and that's and that," and it's like, damn it. But there was nothing that popped out to me. Some visual things, like I had mentioned, when his head and his hands were falling away. It's kind of like the main enemy in Star Fox. But I don't think that's intentional. Nothing off the top of my head. If I go back and watch it, you gotta pause to see those things.
Yeah. So on the second viewing, that, because when I was watching it for the show. I wasn't like my first time through. I was watching it for the story and for the content. This time going through, I needed to be refreshed on the content, so I was watching it a little bit for that too, but also trying to pull out the Easter eggs. And I think that the 4 lights, the little statues, like you saw the Gorn sit like in the thing, and like the mask I think was from something, but I can't
the samurai gear.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what that was. They mentioned it, but I like it just doesn't. It's not registering where I've seen it before.
What weapon was Tendi. What weapon was she using that she the pistol and the rifle? What was that?
Rifle?
The medical rifle.
That was amazing. I'm like, that has the medical symbol on the side, and she's just like, one of the things I love about this show, and is so good, is, and it's like been there from the start, they don't react to like the craziness around them because they're so used to it. Like some crazy medic just ran into the essentially commissary and started shooting at her friend, and no one cared.
No, they were just like,
yeah, they ducked.
It's an overused Twitter term. For them, it's just Tuesday.
Yep.
Fair enough. I mean, okay, so put it in perspective of Josh, all of Star Trek that you know, and Caitlin, all of Star Trek that you know. Does what happens on this ship seem to be more extra than what has happened on the other ships? And this is just 11 episodes. Or
I think what I like is like it's not famous in the world of Starfleet.
Yeah.
Like they will be referencing things that happened to like Kirk's ship or with Picard and stuff. Whereas this, all this stuff is insane, but they're also like not even just the lower decks, but the ship itself. It's like you're the B team. No one cares.
yeah, the whole ship. Yeah, it's very much it, and it's kind of a thing where a lot of what they go through is already seen in previous episodes throughout the canon of Star Trek. I'm interested to see how far they can go with that before that runs out.
I mean, it's a big canon.
Yeah,
but I mean,
it's
interest
a huge
wise.
universe.
I think part of what you have is you have newer fans like me that don't know it as well, and then you have fans that have been watching this forever and they know all the references and seen it from it, because it's not like they tackle it in the exact same way. They tackle it differently, I'm assuming, so that adds the extra layer to it. And I just feel like the vibe of the show is kind of different because none of the characters have kind of that wisdom you expect from someone that's in Star Trek.
Right.
They're all real dumb. Like
Yeah.
even the captain is really dumb.
Yeah, while we were in the middle of the episode, I was actually gonna say that about my mind is like right
Captain.
now. What's it? Cyborg dude.
Rutherford.
Yeah,
Rutherford. Yeah, because like while he was talking, I was like, this guy is such an idiot, but he's also incredible. Like it's one of those things where it's like just like those. I think that's what I like about this version of the show too, is that everyone is really intelligent, but on top of that, they're just giant fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're idiots. For me, it seems like their emotional intelligence just isn't there.
Well, I love like Ransom is actually good at his job. Ransom also seems stupid sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
yeah.
You know, like when he just back in that episode in season 1 when he and Mariner are fighting over who's gonna fight. I love that moment because they're like, someone has to fight to the death, and they start like basically pushing each other like they're 6-year-olds, and everyone watching outside is like, you have to fight to the death. Why are you excited about this? And he stabs her in the foot. That's insane. No commanding officer is like, I got this. I'll stab her in the foot. That way I can do this. That's so stupid.
Do you think because that's kind of a through line with the captain is she keeps saying like, you know, we're pride of Starfleet, which obviously they're not, but like, you know, we got to prove ourselves to be the A team or whatever. Do you think they're ever going to get there?
No. No. I mean, you have people like Boimler, who's like, I know he's on Titan now, but like, is an example. You have people like Boimler who are like rule book, follow the rules, guidelines, everything. You have people like Mariner who are like, I have actual street smarts and experience, so I know how to do this. And you have everything in between. But they're all B team level. Like, you can even see it from Boimler being on the Titan at the end. He's so out of his depth, and everyone else on the Titan's like, yes, this is awesome. We're going to kill it. And then you have Boimler who's like, we're going to die.
And I loved Riker's last line. I love my job.
Yeah, like that to me is it. Or even in season 1 when you had the other captain come over and take over the ship for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mariner's friend.
Yeah, she's just better at it. Like Mariner's mom actually isn't like, she's not bad at her job. She's just not super proficient. She's like,
she's competent for what she's competent for what they're asking them to do.
Yeah.
They're for lack of a better analogy, they're the crew of the Galaxy Quest.
They are. Like, I love that's what I love about this is they are the B team because they should be. They're never gonna be the A team. They may want to be. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah. What?
But they're also not like, it's not like the worst ship ever or anything. They're just the ones that don't make history because they can do their job well enough to get it done.
Yeah. Well, there are those like it's right. Like back when I first started in the entertainment industry, a piece of advice that someone gave me was do just enough work to get by, stay under the radar, but do your job well, and that's how you'll go further because you'll just like you won't necessarily fail upwards.
You'll walk into things.
Yeah, you'll just like walk into things because they'll be there. That hasn't worked for me. I've actually, I've actually done the work to get to the point where I'm at. But I'm the guy who's sitting there watching that happen to other people, and I'm like, this guy's a fucking moron. How did he get to be this?
I think part of it is like the captain can't wait and hope it works out. Like that's part of the problem with these guys is they're always like, no, this is gonna be the thing that proves it. Like that episode where you have Merida's friend who is the captain that came and she's like running all these cool missions, and then you cut to like Mariner's mom who's like, we're on standby, we might plant these seeds. You're like, your job sucks.
Yeah, which makes me wonder why they didn't just send Mariner's friend to do,
because she's A team.
But then she's babysitting the ship.
Oh yeah, well I mean they set all of that up in the very first episode of the show where they're like, yeah, we do second contact.
I did love that. We're the people that go in and like do census and like their language and learn about that stuff and figure out inventory and like that is these guys. These are the guys that they're technically exploring, but not new frontiers.
Yeah.
And that was also something that I really liked about this episode too. Is it brought that back with them being down on this planet and Ransom talking with I don't think that we ever got his name, but the leader that Randall Park was doing the voice of, and they're trying to figure out their communicator number.
It's just like, here's a number.
Yep, this is what they do.
And that was so dumb, but so perfect too, because it's like, I don't like this number. Oh my God, no one's gonna say the number. Yeah, but I don't like it. Oh my God. Okay, what number do you like? You're just like, you want to bang your head through a wall.
I was so funny because for me, like when I moved out to LA, but before I moved out to LA, I got a Google Voice number to have an LA area code to make it appear that I was out here, so that when I was applying for jobs, people would actually call me thinking that I lived here, which worked. That's how I ended up getting out here. But I spent so much time looking through the available phone numbers to find one that I liked. And I ended up settling on one that was like one digit off from my Florida-based phone number. So I was like, this will be easy for me to remember.
Yeah, I loved that. Or like the fact that Mariner was like, I want to clean buildings. Like, it's
Who wants to do that?
Right? Like, that's such a good touch because it's one of those things where it's like the first episode where Mariner's like selling farming equipment to the farmers who don't have farming equipment. And she's like, they're not going to get it in time if we're going by protocol. Like, she genuinely cares about helping. She just doesn't go about it right.
No.
And she would do well on like an A-team ship. But I don't.
Sorry to cut you off. Donnie Pearson is heading out. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you coming in as always. Live long and prosper. I would do the hand signal, but I can't. My hand does not work that way, which is ironic.
Really,
being the Star Trek guy here. Yeah. I just
oddly enough, it
doesn't. No.
But you can do you can do a W with your tongue though, right?
No, I can't do that. I can do a U.
Yeah,
I can do that, but I can't do the other thing. No coordination.
Oh man, but yeah, like I think Mariner would do well on like a better ship. I just don't think she wants the responsibility.
God no. I think the responsibility would bog her down. I mean, I would love to see maybe just not a flashback episode, but a couple little glimpses back.
Yeah.
Because it seems like in her past she was on the A team.
Yeah, because she
And
knows
then-
all them. She's friends with them, and they
Mhm.
said like in the first episode she got demoted.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bet. Yeah, that'd be very cool. I would love like flashback moments, especially. I would love it if it was Boimler seeing them when he's like really struggling on Titan, and he's like, "Well, I'm sure she was struggling. That's why she got demoted." And he like goes through her mission logs, and she's like, "Nope, she's a superstar. She's fine."
Yeah.
That would be great. Heirloom is commenting on my not being able to do the Vulcan hand sign thing, and he's blaming Neelix. Neelix is his least favorite character.
Wait, you mean less than Tuvix?
Maybe, I don't know. Heirloom, who's worse, Neelix or Tuvix? Tuvix is pretty bad. Sorry. Go ahead, Jamie.
Do you know who Tuvix is, Kaylin?
Nope.
Have fun
Yeah.
looking.
Or don't.
I liked the reference to Q in the first season.
Oh yeah, that was great. I'm so excited that he's coming back in Picard season 2. It's gonna be so much fun.
I love test stuff where they're like, "Go bother Picard. He always quotes Shakespeare."
and he's following him too, like a puppy.
That was like my favorite. I'm like, Q sounds familiar, and then when he's like, "He always quotes Shakespeare," I'm like, "Oh my god, that's the best call out ever."
Yeah.
And he was so whiny.
Errol says that Neelix has to have he has to come back. Neelix has to be, because he has to come back. I think that's what Neelix is worse. I actually wouldn't be surprised if we saw Neelix show up on a Prodigy.
Why do you say
they're
that?
They're in the Delta Quadrant.
Aren't they-
To the Delta Quadrant. So
They're doing like a hologram Janeway on Prodigy or something, right?
Yeah. She is an emergency teaching program instead of an emergency medical hologram. We've seen in Picard season 1, the ship that he ends up getting. I can't remember the dude's name. But the ship that he not manifest. Whatever. It's late. My brain's not working. The ship that they use in the show, the guy who owns it has a bunch of holograms of himself that have been programmed to run different aspects of the ship. So he's got one that's the medical guy. He's got one that's an engineer. He's got one that does, whatever.
That's
amazing.
They're
all like vastly different. It's played by the guy who played Isaac in Heroes. I can't remember his name. Santiago Cabrera.
Yeah.
That's
but I can't remember his
hilarious.
It's basically
It's
multiplicity.
So yeah, but holograms.
Yeah, honestly, like Lower Decks is sort of like, I wish Bad Batch was a little more like Lower Decks, because Lower Decks is just smart and aware, where Bad Batch has kind of been a little unaware with the Star Wars elements that I feel like they should have incorporated. Because and this has just stuff that's funny for dumb reasons, like the alien opening the door and then having Mariner go, "Ugh, Jennifer." That's so stupid. I loved it. Like, you would never be like, "Yeah, her name's Jennifer. That tracks." Like, that to me was so weird, but so perfect.
That's why, I'm so sad that we're never going to get Star Wars Detours. Like, there's 40 episodes of that show that are done, and we're never going to see it.
Wait, why not?
Because Disney shelved it. They decided that it does not fit with the current direction they want Star Wars to go. Well, after Disney bought Lucasfilm, they were like, this doesn't really fit with what I want to do.
But it's called Detours, so who
it's also
cares?
Stupid, because
exactly.
Visions isn't going to be canon, so they've already set it up where things don't need to be canon, so it's stupid.
Yeah, so hopefully, eventually it'll happen. But it's the Robot Chicken guys that did it, so it has to be funny. But
maybe it'll see light of day in some like anthology or something.
Maybe a few years down the line, maybe they'll just finally be like, you know what, it's here, content. Let's just throw it up on Disney Plus
Did,
and not
what
say
Disney?
anything about it. It'll show up one day.
Yeah.
Disney will do it when they're re-releasing Cinderella on DVD, you know, because it's like, oh, the
They'll spin it.
700th anniversary, and this.
And Star Wars detours. Have 101 Dalmatians and 40 episodes of Star Wars. You're welcome.
I'm in. I am in. I think that is going to do it for us for tonight, though. Gonna have to wrap it up here. I'm gonna be up for work again early in the morning, and it's probably gonna be another late night, so that's gonna be fun. But thank both of you. Thank you guys for joining us. This was really fun. Caitlin, I'm glad you are here. I'm glad you're enjoying Star Trek. It's nice to get different opinions from people on this kind of stuff, especially with like.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
And take as little or as much time as you want, because we want Josh to stay up late. But what attracted you to wanting to get into Star Trek? Because you're more Star Wars, right?
Yeah, I'm very much into Star Wars. Like I said, like my mom's a huge Trekkie. I got into Star Wars actually through action figures that my uncle had owned. So it was like a weird avenue into it that I got into it. And then just Star Trek Lower Decks, I remember seeing the commercial and being like, that seems funny and like outside enough that I can get into it. Because I watched the first season of Discovery and just kind of didn't go back for the second season. I probably will when I have time. But Star Trek Lower Decks, part of what attracted me to it is because it wasn't like you have to have seen every single Star Trek, because Star Trek is one of those properties where it's like, cool, it's a little intimidating to get into. It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Is that really why you haven't gotten into Star Trek? Or because like for me as a kid, I remember when I started off, I'm like, Star Wars. And what I realized as I got older, for me, Star Trek was more of the intellectual and Star Wars hit me more on the emotional. And as a younger person, that's what I wanted. And that's what I gravitated towards. And then as I got older, I still love Star Wars, but I started to personally find something in myself that appreciated Star Trek that didn't when I was younger. Because I don't know, as a kid, it's like you can only like one of the two things. And
Right?
Star Wars has wizards. So
Star Wars has space wizards.
Space wizards.
I think part of it is like Star Wars, like it's kind of in the name. Star Wars is really, when you get down to it, a war show and war movies with the element of sci-fi and fantasy. Star Trek is an adventuring series, so you're always like going and exploring new areas of this vast universe. So I think part of it is I grew up with like my dad was military, so I watched a lot of war movies when I was growing up. So Star Wars kind of was a natural thing to gravitate into. But Star Trek, yeah, honestly, it is part of it. It's a big part of it. Is there's so much content in comparison to Star Wars, because Star Wars, end of the day, you basically need to see 3 movies.
Yeah. True.
You know, like I've seen the animated content, I've seen the prequels, I like a lot of the books and stuff, but if you want to understand Star Wars, watch the original 3 movies. Star Trek, there's a bunch of different TV series, there's movies that like are part of like of the canon of the different TV series. They all are within the same universe, so they're all connected. So I think part of it is really just Star Trek is kind of another.
It's daunting. It's a lot. This is definitely a good entry level place. I think like the way I typically look at the two different franchises is like Star Wars I look at as more political commentary, and Star Trek is more social commentary. They both have crossover with the social aspects and the political aspects, but I think Star Trek does a much better job because it can, because of the episodic nature of it from the beginning, where Star Wars started as just movies. Now they can kind of move into a little bit more of that now that they've got the TV shows. But with Star Trek, you're looking at social commentary on everyday issues that people have to deal with on a regular basis, and it's given to you through the context of science fiction, whereas Star Wars is giving you like you were saying, it's war, but it's that political, not really political intrigue, but it's more of a higher level social issues rather than like street level social issues.
Yeah, it's more of like that. You have the hero's journey, of course, but you also have really that like story of the little guy fighting against the big tyrannical government is kind of at the core of it. Because Star Wars is at its best when you have the rebellion.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think
that's a really good way of looking at it. It's people fighting the power. Like Star Wars is people fighting the power that exists, whereas Star Trek is how people are living within that context. Like Star Trek. Like if Star Trek existed within the Star Wars universe, Star Trek would, like it would be a ship would go down to Tatooine, and they would be trying to help Luke free the slaves that are on, or help Anakin free the slaves that were there, or like take out Jabba the Hutt, like remove him from, like being able to control people or whatever,
or like form diplomacy between the sand people and the moisture farmers.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I think it might behoove the Star Wars universe to have that happen, because it seems to me that the Empire is always coming back and the rebellion is always happening. They can't ever find that peace.
Well, it's the it's the Dragon Ball Z thing. There's always a bigger bad guy.
There's always a bigger, except there's not a bigger bad guy. It's the same old bad guy. He just figured out another way to get back there.
As Qui-Gon Jinn said in episode 1, there's always a bigger fish.
Oh my God, Qui-Gon is the stupidest character to me. I love him. Literally, if Qui-Gon hadn't done anything he did, none of this would have happened.
No, they would have been. I mean, Palpatine probably still would have tried to become Palpatine, but would it have all happened?
You wouldn't have had Anakin. Anakin started so much.
Things would have happened, but not the way they happened.
But is it? Yeah, I mean, like, is it because he is the child of destiny, as is Luke? Like, would have. I don't know. Would he have somehow figured out a way to pod race off of Tatooine?
I don't think so.
It's kind of like Raiders of the Lost Ark. If Indiana Jones had gotten involved with what was going on in that movie, everything would have played out exactly the same way, except for the things that he was involved in. But
they would have opened the Ark of the Covenant, and they would have all melted. End of movie.
The Ark wouldn't be watched after by top men, but Hitler's occult people wouldn't have gotten it either, because they'd all be dead. So
I think what I really gravitated with this show, especially in the world of Star Trek, is, like I said earlier, there are definitely references, like you guys are pointing out Easter eggs, or even when they're like, oh yeah, Kirk crushed him with a boulder. Like, there's references in there, but it's not to the point where you're like, I can't follow this.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. None of the references that are happening in this show are necessary to know about to understand what's happening in the episodes. And that's one of the things I was also enjoying about the Bad Batch was not you guys, you and JD and Richard were pointing out things to me that were being referenced, but even if you weren't pointing those out to me, it wouldn't hurt my understanding of what was happening in the show.
Right. Even Riker showing up at the end of season 1, you didn't need to know who Riker was. Riker's just awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's kind of funny, because even though that is not the Riker from TNG, that is kind of the Riker from TNG. It's kind of like what you would totally think the evolution of his character would be. And for someone who doesn't even really know him and know where he ends up at the end of the series, you could still, in your mind, you're like, oh no, that's totally Riker.
Sorry, Erla was just making a Family Guy reference. So they did the whole Raiders of the Lost Ark thing, and something, and Lois asked, "Oh, it was James Woods." They captured James Woods and they sent him off somewhere.
And he
And
got
Lois
in the same warehouse as the Ark.
Yeah. And Lois was like, "What did you do with James Woods?" And Peter was like, "He's being looked after by top men, Lois. Top
men."
men."
You just blew my mind, though, with the whole Raiders thing, because same deal with Last Crusade.
Mhm.
The Nazis would have gone. They would have picked the wrong
They
cup.
would have picked the wrong cup. Yeah.
And end of day, I mean, they might have slain the poor knight and eventually found the cup, but they would have taken it beyond the seal and they would have all fallen to their doom. Same thing. The only one that would have, the only movie out of the three, Temple of Doom, he does affect change in that movie.
Yeah.
They would not have been freed if not for, well, I mean, maybe somebody else would have come along, but you can't assume that. His direct intervention it results in the freedom of those kids.
Mm-hmm.
The appeal, I think, of the Indiana Jones movies isn't necessarily that he's saving the. I mean, it is that he's saving the day, but it's not that he's important to the story. It's how he's interacting with the story.
Oh, of course.
He's so cool.
It's his journey that we're watching that's important, not what's happening around him.
Agreed. It's funny to think that he's the American James Bond, but yet James Bond affects what occurs in his storylines.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas Indiana Jones doesn't necessarily. But again, he's an archaeologist who happens to also be a badass adventure guy. But at the end of the day, he's an archaeologist. He studies, he learns, and so it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Except for the fourth one.
That doesn't count.
The fifth one will.
James Mangold, dude who brought us Logan. So
I'm excited for it.
Good thoughts.
I'm excited for the fifth one.
Yeah, should be good.
Hey, fourth one would have ended up the same way,
more or less.
The aliens would have transwarped everybody and killed them.
Yeah. So there is a preview up for next week's episode of Lower Decks to kind of bring it back around. It's up if you guys want to watch it at some point. Feel free. I'm not going to stop you.
I'll also check out the teaser for Discovery or Prodigy.
Prodigy. Yeah. And on our website, theilluminati.com. Hopefully I will have some time to work on it this weekend. I will be posting I guess it would be I don't even know what you would call this. A column, I guess. It is a paper that I wrote I want to say my senior year of college for one of my film theory and criticism classes, where the prompt for the paper was I had to find 3 total properties, like intellectual properties. I had to pick one that had been influenced by 2 other previous works of art, specifically movies. So being the Trekkie that I am, I took a movie called Free Enterprise that stars Eric McCormick, who you guys might know from Will and Grace. He was also in Travelers recently on Netflix, and William Shatner as himself, who befriends this group of people. And there are clear influences in it to both Logan's Run and, of course, because William Shatner is in it, the entire Star Trek franchise. So I'm going to put that up just to do something, because I think it's interesting, and someone like one person might read it, maybe 2.
I love that you said William Shatner playing himself, as if he's not always playing himself.
I mean, sometimes he's TJ Hooker. So yeah, tomorrow night, Bad Batch, the season finale.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
The finale. I still need to watch last week's.
It was
the past few
so
days.
good last week's
Was it?
episode.
Yeah.
So
That's
good.
That's good. That's
Oh,
It was the
it
first
made me
time in a
cry.
while. It was the first time in a while that we, after the episode, were being like, "This is what we wanted the whole season."
good. That makes me happy.
I got to be honest. I've enjoyed the whole season of it. Now,
Oh, it's been fun. I really enjoyed it. It's been fun, but I was expecting like final season of Clone Wars level storytelling, and
oh yeah,
this
yeah.
doesn't have that.
I started to expect that because it started out with the Clone Wars and da da da,
Yeah.
and then after about 3 episodes in, I was like, oh, this is not what they're doing. They're actually filling some plot holes. Not plot holes, but they're filling in some story.
Yeah, it's like
So we're
world
seeing
building.
so we're seeing something different, and it's very broad strokes right now.
Yeah, I'm assuming season 2 will be a little bit more focused.
I hope
just
so.
based off what they're doing.
I think it needs to be. I mean, yeah, part of the problem is because they so marketed this as like the successor of Clone Wars. I'm like, you come off of Clone Wars like final season and that pilot, and you go to like case of the week style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also have it where they have no direction. That was my issue with it. But otherwise, the episodes were fun. Don't get me wrong; they're fun to watch.
Yeah, none of the episodes were bad. It just felt aimless.
I feel like, and Josh, you'll catch up to this. I feel like, again, all like you were saying, episodes are great, and I love the character development. But they could have gotten to this, and I mean, it's only 12 episodes. No,
16.
16. It's 16. This could have been a mid-season thing. This could have been an episode 8 and 9 or 9 and 10, and then they could have gotten beyond it. As opposed to stretching it out as much as they have.
I agree.
Now, granted, I binged most of it. I was not watching it week to week, so I think in binging it, it felt more coherent or not coherent, but consistent. Cohesive. Yeah. Thank you. That's the word. Cohesive. Than maybe had I watched.
You were getting through it so much faster. So I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the filler episodes are fun. It just felt like the filler episodes, you had more filler episodes versus actual story episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was closer. Going back to like 22 episode seasons, you get like so many episodes that don't necessarily tie into the overall story. So
the biggest problem I've had, really the only problem I've had is Crosshairs asks permission to go after them, and then he never goes after them.
Right? He asks permission like 4 times and always gets told yes, and then doesn't do it.
Yep, and he never does. Now, granted, we're starting to find out why.
Yeah.
So cool, but it was a little annoying.
That was a good reveal in the previous episode. Yep. We're not going to spoil it for you, Josh, but that was a good reveal.
Hopefully I'll wake up either early enough tomorrow morning that I'll be able to watch it before I have to go to work, or I'll actually get out of work early enough that I'll be able to watch it before the show.
It's good. It made me tear. 1 tear. It was good.
Just one.
Just one, maybe 2.
Just one. All
right. Fine. Shay saw me. I was a mess.
Oh man.
Good to know. All right. Well, outside of the Bad Batch, trying to think what else we got coming up. There is no Ranger show or no Retro Ranger show on Saturday. We all have scheduling conflicts. And I can't actually run a show from here.
I'm just gonna hop online and hop into a Ranger suit and just act like a fool.
You should. I will hold you to that. Sunday, the Illuminerdi Wrestling Order. I don't think there's a new episode of Rick and Morty this week. I'm gonna have to double check. I don't think the finale is until September. But I'll look that up. We'll post what's going on with that. And What If coming back on Tuesday.
Yep. Hopefully we have the whole group there. Hopefully we have the whole group there next time.
What if you don't?
We'll have two of us go in again.
Womp, womp. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Again, thank you everyone for joining us. Heirloom, thanks for swinging in. Hopefully we'll be able to get you onto the show eventually if you can find a way to watch it from where you are at. Jamie, Caitlin, it's been great having you and talking to you, but I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah, me too.
Shay, thank you for running the show, but turn me off.
Play us off, Shay.